So today I've come to the port town of Rafina, often considered the second port of Athens, and about 40 minutes from the centre of Athens, although separate physically from the city itself. But we'll have a little walk round. I come here at weekends, I'll explain why, and hopefully you'll enjoy this and find this useful. So I've been chasing the rain today. We're looking out to the east and across the sea here to the island of Evia, which you can make out in the distance, the heavy storm clouds. Fortunately, it's stopped raining and the sun has come out, and you can see it's a beautiful day now here in Rafina. Rafina is about 40 minutes from the centre of Athens, as I mentioned. It costs about 40 euros in a taxi to get here. And as you can see, it is a port. I think there are about 15 ramps here, and you can get ferries from here to a number of the major islands, obviously Evia opposite, but also down to Mykonos, to Naxos, to Paros, and to Santorini. So really, some of the big islands go from here. And you really want to consider coming down here, because the first port is Piraeus, obviously, but Piraeus is busy and not that pleasant. Whereas here, Rafina, it's only, as I said, 40 minutes from Athens. And more importantly, it's accessible from the airport. It's about half an hour from the airport, much closer than Rafina, which takes over an hour. And there are buses from the airport here regularly, or you can get a taxi for about 30 euros. So although everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to the islands, I need to go to Piraeus, you might just want to consider Rafina here. Rafina also has a second claim to fame, which is that it's a local destination for Athenians at the weekends. You can see over here, there's a little beach. It's not a great beach, but it's a little beach. We'll go and have a quick look at it. And there are cafes and restaurants here. And at the weekend, you get a lot of Athenians. So essentially, Rafina is really a town of two halves. You have the half which services the Athens weekend community, and there are a lot of Athenians who have holiday homes here. It's quite a wealthy place. And then you have the port here. So I just thought we'd start with the port. We'll come down to the port, because certainly if you're not Greek, most people are going to come here for the port. And you can see, you can come down here. There are buses from Athens, very easy to get to. There are no trains, but there are buses from Athens very regularly. And you can get here early, you can have some lunch before you get on the ferry, or if you miss your ferry, you can wait for the next one. There are a number of restaurants, souvlaki, grill houses, etc. along here. And they are not really, these restaurants are not really here for the Greeks. They're more here for the tourists, I think, although the Greeks will use them as well. And you can also, as you can see, buy here tickets. So you've got fast ferries which run cats, I think, 2 cats I think run from here, the catamarans. And then you've got Golden Star ferries as well. And as I said, you can go down either on foot or with your car, if you have a car, to Naxos, to Santorini, to Mykonos, to Paros. And these are the big islands. And you can do it with a lot less stress than if you go up to Piraeus. So very easy, very simple, very well connected via roads if you do bring your car. And then over here, and we'll go and have a look at it, you've got a little beach, and you've got the second half of Rafina, which is really the Athenian weekend beach town. Best way to describe it: upmarket, smart, nice to come down here for a day, which is why I come here at the weekends, and just eat and drink and enjoy yourselves. But you can see, lovely day. The clouds are receding, the sun is coming out. I've been chasing the rain, the sun's been chasing me. You can see over there to the west. And the difference really between Piraeus and Rafina, apart from the fact that Rafina is much smaller and less busy, is Rafina is on the east coast of Greece, whereas Piraeus is on the west coast. But they're only about an hour apart in a coach, so they're not far apart. You're going to catch a ferry. You simply come down here to the port with your chosen mode of transport, bus, or taxi, or car, or whatever. Go through into the central port of Rafina, and you can get your ferry. It's very easy. There aren't a huge number of ferries, as I said, 15 ramps, and it's a lot less stressful than Piraeus, trust me. It's a real slice of Greece without the Greek stress. If you want to stay in Rafina, there are numerous hotels, many small hotels, but there's also this large Avra hotel, which is 4-star, and is ideal really. If you come from the airport, your ferry's the next day, you arrive late at night, stay in the Avra or one of the other small hotels, you're perfectly located then to get on your ferry the next morning. It's a very short walk round to the port that we just looked at. So don't discard Rafina, don't just think Piraeus. So here we are on Rafina Beach. Now I'm not going to lie, it's not the world's greatest beach. I mean, there's plenty of parking immediately behind it in the summer, You'll find it packed in the summer with Athenians literally just here for the day. They come down, they sit on the beach, quite understandably, have some lunch in the tavernas and so on, and then go home, because it's very easy for them to do so. I mentioned earlier it's half an hour from the airport. Well, here in the sky above us you can see a plane coming into land at Venizelos Airport. It's really that close. If you are in a car, or if you're taking public transport and you want a better beach, you go further down the coast, south from here. It's only about 15 minutes, and you can come to Lutza or Artemis, which is a much better beach and more of a holiday resort. I mean, in the end, you can't get away from the fact that just the other side of the stones are the harbour and the port, and you've got big ferries coming here in the summer. Nice, but not the world's greatest beach. Easy parking though. You can't say that for many places in Athens. So apart from the beach and the harbour and a couple of hotels and the parking, what else does Rafina offer? Well, for the Athenians, as I said, a second home. But it also has this quite nice square, just up from the harbour, really 2 minutes walk, lined with tavernas, restaurants, and actually in the summer, this is where you'll find most of the Greeks, to be honest. As I said, down by the port itself, although there are restaurants and people do go down there, it's more for the foreigners. This is where, in the summer, it's packed and busy and the kids are playing and so on and so forth. People taking a curiosity in me taking film, but that's good. And this isn't where you come for shopping. I mean, there are shops here, essential shops for the locals. There are about 13,000 permanent locals, I think. But this is not where you come shopping. If you want to go shopping, 20 minutes you're in Kifisia or Halandria, and I have videos on both of those places, and they're worth visiting if you're visiting Athens. They're not where you go to the islands. Rafina's where you go from to the islands. But we have this square, and you can see it's quite pleasant. Although in January, straight after a rainstorm, it may look a little bit wet. But that's a very quick look at Rafina, why you should come here. Definitely, if you're going straight on the ferries from the airport, consider it. If you want to avoid the hustle and bustle of Piraeus and your island is served from here, I would really recommend it over Piraeus, to be honest, especially from the airport. If you're already in the city centre, well, it's a toss-up. Do you go to Piraeus or do you come to Rafina? Probably about price as much as anything. But this is Rafina, nice place in the summer, little wet now. Hope you've enjoyed. Please look at some of my other videos and subscribe. I really need subscribers. I'm getting a lot of views, but I'd like some subscribers too. So if you could be good enough to do that, I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you.